Welcome back to the 5-7 podcast. I'm your host, Mike PrE, and today I've got old friend Mike Salinas back on the show. What's up, man?
Old faithful.
Old faithful. Do us a favor, hit that subscribe button down there. And what's going on, man?
Not a bunch. What can really be going on right now? We're in the state that we're in. We're just hanging out at home. We're being law-abiding citizens. We're contributing to the cause.
Yeah.
We're staying home, and we're ordering out from local businesses as much as possible.
Good. You know, it's funny. I was on Facebook today, and I don't get on Facebook very often. And I hate to get right into this, but it just really bugs me. Someone posted today. They were talking about the media, and they were saying how they were complaining on the shutdown, and you know what? I'm gonna find this. I'm gonna find it on Facebook.
Open the goddamn government back up.
Yeah, pretty much. They're like the government is lying to us, and yeah, sure, the government is probably lying to us, but is it a problem now? The government's been lying to us for years,
Right.
And now it's a problem.
Mm-hmm.
Where is this at, man? This guy posts so much stuff.
Ugh.
Where the hell
I say we say who it is so we can all go on his page and give him some shit.
No, he's a good guy. So here it is. He says, when the state tells you it's safe to go to Home Depot to buy a sponge but dangerous to go and buy a flower, it's not about your health. When the state shuts down millions of private businesses but doesn't lay off a single government employee, it's not about your health. When the state puts you in a jail cell for walking in a park with your child because it's too dangerous, but lets criminals out of jail cells for their health, it's not about your health. And it's like all of these are completely, you could switch these right up, and it's like, maybe you really don't have to, you really do have to go to Home Depot because you need to get something for your home, like that's pretty essential. You don't need to.
Yeah.
You don't need to go out and buy flowers.
He's completely incorrect because you can buy flowers in the garden center at Home Depot.
Yeah, you can.
What an idiot.
Yeah, you can, and you could do it at Jewel too.
Yeah, what an idiot.
So yeah, I guess florists are not essential. So no, you don't need to go to a florist. And as far as people being let out of jail, they need to have a somewhat of a. I mean, it just sounds terrible of like you have a prison and then somebody goes in there who's sick and then everybody gets sick from it. Do you know what I mean? I mean, if you're a non-violent prisoner, that I think that it's okay to put these guys, probably under armed guard on somewhere in the hospital. But then I guess if you really think about it, there's no room in hospitals right now, And these guys aren't going anywhere. So it's like, how are they getting COVID-19? They've got to be getting it from the guards.
Yeah, you're right. It has to be coming from somewhere.
And
it's spreading all around.
That's a complete failure right there,
Man. Yeah, that's a really tough situation, man. And when I started hearing about that, like, what do they do? And I think there were some rappers. Who was it? No, was it R. Kelly? And there was a couple other people.
Your boy Meek Mill?
Yeah, they wanted out because they got COVID-19. They're like, I need out, because I got COVID-19. It's like, well, maybe you shouldn't have got in the first place, Like, I mean, I shouldn't have said that, but I said it.
It's like you can't really get out because, I mean, there's nowhere for you to go. Regular people can't get, can barely get hospital beds. How are you gonna, how are you gonna get something?
Did you see there was a live mic? Something just leaked out on Twitter at one of these conferences. They were setting up chairs and things like that. And the guy setting up chairs was like, hey, you sure these aren't too close together? He's like, no, we're okay. Everyone's been vaccinated, right? He's like, yeah. Oh, they're like talking to each other like, yeah, they've all gotten vaccinated, correct? He's like, yeah, that's correct. Now, who knows what this could have been taken years ago and it's about some other instance, but
sure.
Twitter's running with it, man. Like, oh my God, we have the vaccination and they're only giving it to certain people.
Yeah.
And it's just another thing, man. It's like that one picture somebody posted up, and here we go again talking about social media, but somebody posted up like, "Oh my God, everybody's at the beach in Florida," and then like, "Oh my God, everybody's at the beach in California," and it's the same picture. Did you see this?
No, no, I didn't.
It's the exact same picture. I'm like, wait a second, how could that be? So people were calling it out like this is all fake. Like not
Right.
these people all aren't at the beach, man.
Yeah.
Um, and if they are, I can guarantee you they're spreading out. You know,
Yeah.
and they're probably not laying out. They might be just walking on the beach. I don't know,
Sure.
but I don't foresee anybody really having a great time in a big crowd right now.
I don't either at all. I just I would feel really uncomfortable, man, if I like even when people are walking down the street and I'm with my kids, they're riding their bike, and people are walking down the street. I'll take a few steps off to the side, man. Like I don't want to be around anybody. Like I think it was like a couple weeks ago. Like my allergies were kind of bothering me. I'm like, holy shit!
Hmm.
I have a runny nose. I have a headache. I've got fucking COVID-19. And I'm like, wait, no, there's no way. There's no way possible. I haven't gone anywhere. I haven't gone anywhere. How could I have it? But like it kind of messes with your head a little bit.
It does totally. I've the other Saturday night I had a lot of drinks. It was Friday night, a lot, really late, and I stood up really late. And in the morning, I got up really hungover, and I went to the bathroom, and I couldn't breathe. I was like, I was having a hard time breathing, and
Really?
I was like, yeah, I was like, I'm gonna go lay back down. It was in my head,
Uh.
it's all in my head. Like
Okay.
I'm shortness of breath. Like I'm not coughing or anything like that. I haven't had no symptoms of anything whatsoever, but it's just my mind, man. And that's happened from time to time where like I feel like I'm a short of breath if I think about it too much. And I'm like, and I'm like, you think about it's like one of those things where you start thinking about your blinking and you're like, God dang it, now I can't stop thinking about my blinks and my eyes are getting tired because I'm blinking too much.
After you
I
said
don't
that, I
know.
started blinking more.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Because you start thinking about these things like, oh, I'm sorry, I'm taking like short breaths now. Like now that I'm talking about it, I'm like my chest is starting to feel like it's caving in a little bit.
Right.
But it's just so mental, you know.
Yeah. It's like taking a placebo in a way.
Yeah, dude, it can really get to you mentally. So I can see people that have some sort of mental illnesses. They're probably in a tough place, man. I mean, they got to be flipping out from time to time.
Yeah. Yeah. I can only imagine. Do you, yesterday it came out in the news. I think it was either yesterday or the day before that Harvard was going to be getting some of the CARES Act money. They were going to get $9 million, even though that they have a $40 billion endowment,
Why?
because they fall under the umbrella of being a university. They were going to get nine
Oh,
million. I think Columbia was going to get like 12 million.
wow.
Yale was going to get like 10 million. Well, all of this information came out, right? And everyone is like, why do they need this money? They have 40 billion in an endowment. Why do they need this money? And under pressure, they decided that they're not going to accept the money.
Wow.
Yeah,
Well, good for them. I mean, they made the good decision, I think.
sure, sure. I wonder why they would fall under that, though. Do you know what I mean?
Right. I, yeah, I don't know much about it. I haven't read anything. I think you mentioned that to me a couple days ago on a text, but yeah, I don't know enough to really comment on it.
I heard that President Trump was pushing them like, "Hey, don't take this money. don't
Trumpito.
don't take this money, please."
We off air we've talked a lot about sports,
Yeah,
and I think it's an interesting topic because it is a really small piece of this whole big puzzle. There's more serious things that are going on, but being a male, a middle-aged male, sports is a very big portion of my life.
yeah,
And it's funny that today we just had the NFL draft. Honestly, I believe for a season that's not going to happen. I think we're not going to see the NFL till 2021. I mean, because you think about a variety of things, and there's a handful of players that have had cancer and survived it. I mean, I think there's Eric Berry, and there's the running back for the Steelers, and there's a couple coaches. I mean, if I was a player, I'm not going to take my chances going on the field. I mean, I'm just going to say, hey, man, I'll see you guys in 2021, or see you guys or maybe retire. I don't know. But if you have these higher up players that are really key contributors to your team, would the whole team stand behind them and say, as a team, we're going to stand behind our player. We're all not going to play. And then it becomes this whole thing. And that's where I think it's going to happen, where maybe some teams think they can play and they can't. And I personally don't think there's going to be a season. I don't know what your thoughts are on that.
What about the dudes who don't make a lot of money and they need to play so they can get their game checks?
That's true too. I mean, I think it's a double-edged sword, right? I mean, I would assume there's got to have some sort of payroll thing. I don't know. I hope they're taking care of them to some degree.
It's the NFL, man. They're not taking
Yeah,
it.
right.
They're not taking care of anybody but the NFL.
They're not taking care of anybody with CT. CT. What do you mean?
It's
CT?
not real.
That doesn't happen. James Conner. Sorry, James Conner from the Steelers.
Oh, okay. Did you ever see that
Um,
movie Concussion?
With Will Smith.
Yeah,
I don't believe I did.
it's good.
Yeah.
They talk about
No,
how the doctor who stumbled across CTE and it was really good.
yeah, no, it's all good stuff. I mean, but the consent. Well, where are we at right now? Do you know with basketball? Jumping back to
Possibly summertime with no fans.
oh, so they think they're going to play the playoff?
Possibly.
Wow, that's hilarious. You know how crummy those players would be?
Yeah, what's his name? Chris Paul says we need at least 3 to 4 weeks of a camp.
Yeah. Yeah, man. You know who I really like? I really like Adam Silver. That guy is he's really intelligent.
Yeah,
The fact that he was behind the whole Bulls documentary.
really.
Yeah, he was the one that kind of like said, "Hey, man, we want to do this," and I think he was in charge of one of the marketing departments, and they thought that it was behoove them to not document this epic team on their last
Hurrah.
dance. Yeah,
Yeah.
and I mean, look at this guy. Now he's just benefiting so much off this stuff.
Yeah, and we are too, you know.
Yeah, oh hell yeah.
I could,
It's
you,
great
you
material. I think they said it. I didn't see the numbers, but they said it broke records.
yeah, you couldn't turn away. I watched it the next morning. As a cord cutter, I cut my YouTube TV because there's no live sports, and that's really all that I watch. And my kids, they watch YouTube TV. I mean, not YouTube TV. They watch Disney Plus, and they watch Netflix. And I got Amazon Prime, so they watch all stuff from there. So they don't really need TV. So I cut my cable. But if you're one of me, and you can download the ESPN app on your Apple TV, and you can watch it on there. And they have both versions on there: the mature version that has a little bit of cussing in it, and the TV 14 version. But I agree with you. He
That's
was really
great.
smart, man. Like having lived through it, like you kind of, we know the backstory, about Jerry Krause and all that stuff. But it's like, the way that it was directed, you really get this finality out of it, And I can't wait, man. I'm a huge fan of Scottie Pippen and Dennis Rodman, and I can't wait until they get into how influential those guys were. Pippen was so solid. I mean, Jordan was great too, man. Don't get me wrong. I mean, a lot of it's about Jordan. Everybody knows who Michael Jordan is, right? But I think something that needs to be said is how great Jordan was defensively, and how great Pippen was defensively, and how he helped offensively. And then on top of that, you've got Dennis Rodman out there grabbing all kinds of boards. He didn't even need to score because of Jordan and Pippen and Kukoc and Steve Kerr, out there putting up big points.
I'm going to say something that I think is not the consensus, but man, Jerry Krause, man, he was pretty smart.
Yeah, yeah, but he got it in his own way though.
Yeah. I mean, but the fact that he was able to get Pippen, kind of a dude from out of nowhere in Central Arkansas,
Yeah,
and he made that trade, and they didn't divulge what really happened. I don't know the details of that trade, but he was able to swing to get Scottie Pippen when a lot of people didn't know who he even was. That was huge.
could you imagine
And
Scottie Pippen, Sean Kemp, and Gary Payton.
Dude, I had no idea he was on Seattle. No clue.
Yeah. He
And
well,
and
well
and and Detlef Schrempf. Don't you forget about
that,
him.
yeah, he had the hat on, but they told him, they're like, hey, you're actually a member of the Bulls.
Yeah.
He was like, oh, whoa. I was like, all right, whatever. I got drafted. Great.
Yeah.
You know. No,
Yeah,
it's
dude.
it's been great though.
Yeah, I think that was interesting. And also was interesting is his pay rate. I didn't realize that he was getting paid so underpaid
Yeah.
for that many years. That was news to me as well. But wow, yeah. So far, I mean, I think it started off kind of slow, kind of getting everybody accustomed, people that weren't necessarily immersed in the whole thing when it was happening,
Yeah.
getting them up to speed. So I think for the first, documentary and a half was kind of slow, but after that, it started picking up at the tail end of that second part,
Yeah.
and I'm pretty excited for 3 and 4 and keep 'em going, man.
I think this is great for millennials because they've heard about Michael Jordan, but
Hmm.
they don't really know about Michael Jordan. You know, Michael Jordan comes out game one against the Celtics, which I guess in today's day and age, you could pretty much say it's the Cel- the Celtics would be what Golden State
Yeah, last year or the year
I
before,
would
the year
say
prior. Yeah.
Golden State of last year. Imagine Golden State on steroids. That would be the Boston Celtics. And Jordan went in there and he scored what 55 points one game, and then the next game came out and scored 63.
Yeah,
Who's
yeah,
who's done that, man? And he
yeah, right.
and he wasn't shooting threes, dude. He had
Hmm.
a few threes in there. If you look at some of his statistics, he's got like a run of like 15 games of like 55 points and higher, and and between those 15 games, he only shot 11 threes.
Wow.
That's nuts.
Yeah, right now I guess the documentary is was at 6.1 million viewers, which is the biggest documentary obviously they've ever created of viewership wise on ESPN.
Right.
Not surprising, not surprising, but at all
Yeah,
by
it's
that.
not. I think this is great for millennial sports fans can get the backstory, see what Jordan was really like, man. And apparently his brother Larry,
Hmm.
he's only 5'8", 5'8", Larry.
Really?
Yeah, but he's got like a 44-inch vert. They showed some footage of him, dude. This little guy doing these freaking monster dunks.
Holy smoke!
Jordan even said himself, he goes, if Larry was 6'2", he goes, they'd know me, I'd be known as Larry's brother.
Holy smoke!
Yeah,
Wow,
yeah,
that's wild, man.
yeah. Can you imagine that?
That's a hell of a vert, man.
Yeah,
Hell of a vert. Yeah, but it's been good. I mean, that's probably one of the major things right now going on in sports, aside from the NFL draft, like we talked about. There isn't a ton to look forward to. I think you might be into some other shows that are on. I think everybody's got their thing right now, right?
mm-hmm.
Some sort of Netflix or Amazon or whatever their weapon of choice is.
Or both.
Disney Plus, whatever they're watching.
That's three. You named three. I'm on.
God dang it!
Now I love. I'm watching Ozark on Netflix. It's about this guy. He's a money launderer. He's from Chicago, and things get turned upside down for him there. He's the guy. His partner. They were money laundering for a Mexican drug cartel, and his partner was skimming cash. So he ran to the Ozarks. They caught up with him, right? And he's like, look, I wasn't doing any of the money laundering, and he has to leave with his wife and his kids to go to the Ozarks. And right before he's about to leave, he finds out that his wife was cheating on him. So he could either leave her there so that the cartel catches up with her and fucking murders her, and take the kids, or but he takes her. So there's him dealing with the stress of the cartel trying to launder this money in the Ozarks, where there's really small businesses, so he can't, launder 500 million as he typically would, But so he has to figure something out with that. He's dealing with his wife and this infidelity, and he has to deal with that stress. And his kids, they don't know what's going on. So it's really good, man. It's really good, and I'm watching Westworld on that HBO, which is phenomenal, and I watch like some shows with the kids.
Right. Yeah, that sounds actually pretty good, man. Ozarks. I'm not really a big series watching guy, but
It's cool,
you
man.
s- you certainly whetted my appetite just a skosh.
Here, I'm gonna weten it even more. There's only like 8 episodes a season.
Wow, yeah, that's good.
Yeah, I think it's
I don't
like
have to sit there all day and get stuck in that
yeah,
realm.
yeah. It's not like some of the other shows where there's like 24 episodes in a season.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I think it's 8 or 10 episodes. And Westworld's the same way. They only do like 8 or 10 episodes.
That's good, man.
Yeah,
That's good. It's good stuff. Anything else you got going on right now?
that's it, man. That's all that I got for today.
Mm, very good.
I had some other stuff, but we can get to that next time.
Yeah, that's cool.
Cool. Well, hey guys, that's all we got for you today. Take it easy. This is PrE and Mike out.